Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the live stream. I think today, actually, everything went pretty good, so let's hope it stays like that. Whew, man. Man, oh man, oh man. Let me just check my audio. I hope I'm not blasting you all out. Should be pretty good, yeah. As long as I don't get too crazy, I should be. Let me turn it down just a hair. There we go. All right. That way, if I get excited and yell and scream, you don't get blown out. Hey, what's up, Griffin Handmade Knives? How's it going? Man, for some reason, this chat is supposed to be up here, but it's not anymore. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I have to keep looking over here. What's up, Aaron? All right. Whew. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Let's get everything started. So if you're new here or you're watching the repost, I usually say leave comments with ideas or questions and all that. But I think I'm going to change that to, leave comments with your questions, or if you have any things that have worked for you, whether it's for the YouTube stuff I'm talking about or with the knife stuff or any of that stuff that we talk about here. Leave comments if you got ideas that worked for you, or what has worked for you, or maybe what hasn't worked for you. Let's build this community, because that's why I titled it Community. It's not just about YouTube. It's about any passion. And if this is your first time to live stream, instead of like giving you instructions on how to do this and how to do that, and do it this way, do it that way, I kind of integrate all my passions and let you know how I've used my passions to build the different things, like knife making, my passion in knife making, my passion for YouTube, my passion for photography, all that stuff. What's up, Bootleg Blades? Man, everyone's early today. Seems like today's going to be a good day. I think I'm getting this live streaming thing down today. I got it all set up with no problems or nothing. Everything worked out perfect. Phew. So, let me see. Whew. Right. Oh, see, this is why I take notes. My mind just went completely blank. I'm thinking about taking these live streams and reposting them as a podcast, because I know a lot of people like to listen in their car or listen on their phone to podcast. Now, last night, I took last week's Sunday's repost, and I'll tell you what, I sat there for like 2 hours, because I want to edit it down to take out all the you knows and the ums and the uhs and the pauses and all that, and take out some of the stuff that doesn't really translate to radio or podcasting. But it took me like 2 hours just to edit 30 minutes of audio. And I figured, it's audio, there's no videos, there's no visuals, so it should be easier. But man, it's just as hard, because you have to listen to every part and cut out these parts and cut out that parts. But I put a poll up on the cards if you're watching the repost. I don't know if you can do it live, but a poll. Do you think I should do that? Should I make these live streams, repost them for the week into podcast? Look at that. I'm already heating up and fogging my glasses up. What's up, Hidden Acres? Man, we got everyone in the house. I'm sure Chip will be here in a little bit. The funny thing is, when you're editing a bunch of audio and stuff like that, it really enhances the things you do bad a lot. Like I say, so many times. In fact, it gets to the point where I don't even have to really hear it. I can just see it, and I know it's either going to be a so or a coming. So, see, there's the so right there. But man, I'm trying to curve that, but I don't know if I can. Woo. All right. So, the main topic of this live stream is community and competition, because they're kind of one in the same. And before I get to that, if you guys watch my last video where I talk about carbon fiber and being itchy, man, I jinxed myself. I woke up the next day. You can see I didn't even wrap my arm because my wrap was probably covered in carbon fiber. And it's like, man, I just covered it real quick because it's pretty bad under here. It's all healed, but it's just so, ugh. In fact, you can see, like, if you listened to last week's live stream where I was talking about, how I went through some bad times and all that stuff, and I know depression, all that. I don't know anyone else that has pain and sorrow written on their arms. But see how this sorrow, sorry if you listen to the podcast, this is straight. But look at the pain. It's all it's crooked from where my arm was so messed up and trying to heal, and the skin's got all peeled back and all that. And that's why my arm's locked up, because how I healed when the skin came back together to heal up, it's just like it locked my arm up. And that's why this is like that too. I can't lift my wrist because all the skin was healing and pulling together and just locked my arm. I'm sure I could get some surgery where they cut it, but man, that's kind of scary to me. Yeah, definitely do what makes you happy. Definitely. That's the whole point of this whole live stream. I didn't even know I liked talking on camera. But man, it's actually very therapeutic for me, and I really enjoy all you guys coming by and saying, hey, what's up, and talking and getting all that stuff moving. I'm actually using my 50 millimeter on, on the camera over here for this, to see if we can get a better shot of this. I've been trying to experiment with a lot of stuff lately, so I definitely love this new camera. And now that I got it set up, man, the color. And if you guys watched for a while, when I was using my action cam, I was always complaining about, oh, I wasn't getting the good enough pictures and all that. Well, I figured out, because if you watch a lot of videos about live streaming and all that, it says set your bit rate to like 6,000. But I've got really good internet, and I've got a switch connected down here, so my laptop's connected right into the Ethernet. So I get like 400 or 500 megabytes uploads and downloads. So I turned it up to like 12,000. I double what they suggested. So now it seems to be a lot better. Plus the camera and all that. It's like anything. You learn as you go. And that's one thing I'm always preaching about. Any passion and all that. When you're starting out, you're going to be horrible at it. And you're not going to be good. And it's going to take you a while to learn. And you get discouraged and all that. Man, I finally got this live stream to where I'm at. But it's kind of great because I could put into practice what I preach. Because if you go back and watch from the first live stream to now, man, the progression is crazy. In fact, I leave all my stuff up because, like I've said plenty of times in most of my, in a lot of my live streams, start out recording yourself. Watch your progression. See how you get better. See your mistakes. Learn how to fix your mistakes. You can do that all by recording yourself. A lot of people think YouTube and Instagram and all that is just to show how good your life is or how great you have it and all that. And that's a very big misconception about social media. Everyone only shows the good parts of their life. So everyone looks like they're always happy and always having great things. And everything's awesome for them. But that's not true. That's why I like to videotape myself or record my stuff and watch it. Man, even if you watch my knife making videos, you go back even a year, they were horrible. I'm sorry all you guys that had watched or been here for a while, I'm just talking the same thing over and over, but it's true. I can't emphasize it enough. The more you record yourself and the more, shut up your phone, anything you can just to watch yourself and see how much you progress. I mean, I'm actually, for once, happy with this whole setup and how it looks and all that. And honestly, happy's kind of the wrong word. It sets my OCD at rest, how this looks now. Because, when I was using the action cam or whatever else, my OCD was like, oh, you just got to let it go. Don't think about it, just do it. Bootleg Blake. Yeah, I'm sure the girls would complain about having too many cameras and lights. If you guys, if anyone watching this hasn't gone and checked out Bootleg Blades, I even told him this. You know, he started out and he was asking me, you know, should he record and all this. And there was a few little minor problems here and there, and I helped him out. But now he's getting to the point where he's almost better than me. I'm like jealous sitting there watching. Man, how did he get that so quick? I took a year to get that good. Now he's just booming up. Which actually transitions into my whole competition and community topic. Because that's the thing. It doesn't matter what your passion is, what your niche is, especially if you want to do YouTube. You're going to have competition. But you can't look at that as a bad thing. Your competition is also your community. Because when you're like knife making is kind of a look down art when it comes to Facebook and all that. I mean, thanks to Forged in Fire and stuff like that, it's kind of blowing up. But other than like Alex Steele and all those guys, it's kind of not that big of a thing. You know, not as big as, you know, a lot of the other niches when it comes to YouTube. You know, in fact, the biggest guy, Alex Steele, only has like 1.6 million subscribers. And I know I'm saying only, but Alex Steele's the biggest guy. Look at photography. Peter McKinnon got 1 million subs in a year. So that kind of gives you the contrast. You know, yeah, knife making. Everyone wants to be a knife maker and that, but it's really only the guys that are into knife making that care about knife making. Where photography covers so many realms, and you know, so it's a thing to know your competition. In fact, competition is healthy. When you have someone that you're working off of, because they make you better and you make them better. And believe me, no matter how envious or jealous you are of your competition, they're the same way about you. You know, you're looking at their strengths and they're looking at your strengths. So it doesn't really matter, oh man, this guy can do this more better than you. Or, oh man, I can't believe how good he makes this look, or how good he makes this look. Because they're looking at you the same way for what they can't do. You know, no one is 100% at everything. Everyone has things that they need to improve on. Because if you didn't, life would be boring. And if you've got to that part where you're a master, then it's time to pick something else up. Because once you master something, there's nowhere else to go. At least in my opinion. There's Chip. Hey, what's up? See, I used to watch Forged. I watched the first 2 seasons of Forged in Fire, and then I kind of lost interest in it. You know, it's done a lot for knife making and that, so I feel bad saying this, but it's really become a joke. You know, when you see someone pick up a knife, what's the first thing they say? It will kill! You know, they're not saying that as a compliment to that. They're saying that as a joke. You know, it will kill! You know, and everything about that stuff, it became more of a parody than an actual thing. And, you know, it's a great platform to learn on, and a great platform. And the first 2 seasons were great, but I just kind of lost interest in it. It became more of a joke than it did a serious thing, which upset me, you know. And that goes with the whole community thing. We need to help each other out. We're all knife makers, or if you're a YouTuber, whatever, we need to band together and help each other. And that's why I say in the beginning about the comments, if you find something that works for you or don't work for you, or you find a better way or whatever, we need to help each other out. And it's not just a saying, it's something we got to do, because as knife makers, we're the only ones that are going to support ourselves. You know, we're the only ones that can help each other. No one's going to come out from photography and be like, I mean, there'll be guys that want to better their career by taking photos of your knife. But we need to, you know, stick together and help each other out. But the competition part is we need to thrive off each other. We need to learn off each other. It's like, man, like you guys, if you've been here for a while, you know me finishing blades and finishing stuff is a very big weakness because I've spent so much time on my bevels and all that stuff. So that's something I really need to learn from other people. How you finish your knife, how you do this, you know. What's up, Pine Woods? Excuse me, once again, I'm going on the rant and I'm not even reading. There's supposed to be a live chat right here, but it's not working. So, I can't see, so it's hard for me to read. Oh, the knife competition. Everything had to be in today. So today was the last day. I can't show the knife. I can't show the knife till it's over and all that. But I'm actually pretty proud of that knife. I ran out of material, so I had to use a couple different materials, which actually worked in my favor. I actually turned something that could have been a bad thing, and I've never done like a three-piece, I ran out of G10, so I took a liner, and then a piece, a one color, a blue piece, and then a black piece, and a blue piece, and I glued them all together. So instead of being, let me see, do I have any knives down here that have it? No. But if you look at, like, when you buy the G10 that's like black or blue or white and black, you know, it's just one piece, one piece, one piece. Well, this was thicker. So instead of being like, you know, that off and on color, it was just one color, then a separate color, and then, but man, and the last competition, this was the second competition. I'm all stuttering. I'm baffled for words. You have to excuse me for a second. But so in the first competition, I made this awesome knife, and I think I have it over here. Let me see something. Excuse me for a second, but no, I can't find it. It's buried. I didn't even do anything with it because I was so. But anyway, the knife came out looking great, but I didn't know anything about photography, so I just took the picture and sent it in. But when I sent it in, I put it through Lightroom, and I didn't Photoshop it, like add stuff to it, but I just enhanced it, and I like made like clouds come around it, so it like enhanced the knife. So everyone thought I cheated and was like, "Oh, we're not voting for that because, you know, he Photoshopped that picture, blah blah blah. It's not real," which I can understand. So this time I took like 30 pictures. Like I put it in every kind of way and every kind of, you know, position and all that, and just took picture after picture after picture. You know, put the tripod over here, you know, took it down like this, moved the tripod over here, you know, put the knife upside down, you know, 30, 40 pictures. And then I just sat there and tuned them. I had it down to 4 pictures that I liked. So at least this time, you know, if I don't win or whatever, I know I put the best out there that I could put. So, thanks for asking about that. Yeah, bootleg. I learned from YouTube too. I learned everything. You know, my OCD, if I like photography, I was talking about this. Man, I'm like, I watch like for every 1 or 2 knife making videos I watch now, I watch like 10 photography things because I want to make content better. Excuse me. You know, I want to make my YouTube channel better. I want to, you know, it's not really on the photography side. It's more on the video side. You know, my videos, I'm trying to get the best possible video I can. So, and I'm actually starting to get happy with that too. So, it might, you know, I might have to go from videography to photography to start taking better pictures. Because the only reason I really take pictures is for my thumbnails for my videos. Thanks, Chip. Man, I have 2 hands. I just have to realize how to compensate for the other one. Which, you know, I realized it could have been an excuse, but instead of making an excuse, I just used it to work harder on it. Which is, I think, why I spent so much time on bevels, because I had to learn how to compensate for one half or the other. But, you know, and I used to get jealous of that, because the guy that got me into knife making, he would come over, and we kind of both started at the same time, but he didn't have the equipment, or he lives in an apartment, so he doesn't have tools and all that. So he would come over and start making knives with me and stuff like that. And I would get so frustrated, because he would step up to the grinder and bam, put out a perfect bevel within like 2 weeks, you know, of learning. It took me a year, and I'm like, why? But, you know, I have no one to blame except myself. You know, I'm the one that was stupid and just didn't care about stuff and messed my arm up and all that stuff. So, yeah. And that goes to the whole competition thing. You know, I was jealous that he got bevels good and all that. But I'm sure he was jealous because I had all the equipment and all the tools. So, and he would sit down and show me how he does it. And you know, we kind of learned together. And that's the whole competition thing. We were in competition because, you know, and he's also the one where I'd sit there and I'd struggle with the knife and struggle. And I would know it was ruined, but I'd still try to fix it. And he'd be like, man, I'm coming over there and I'm cutting that knife in half. You just need to start over. You're good. But honestly, he was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because when I would make something that looked pretty decent, he wouldn't say, oh man, that looks awesome. Man, that knife looks great. He would say, oh man, this is messed up. Man, you need to fix this. You need to fix this. And then he would be like, man, I feel like a dick saying this to you. And I'd be like, yeah, but that's what I need. And that's how I got better really quick. Because he would just put it under a microscope and tell me what was wrong. And I would go back and fix it. You know, he still harps on me about my handles. Because I never finished my handles that good. So that's what I've been trying to work on. That and hand sanding. Whew, man, you guys are lighting it up. What's up, Kat? What's wrong with my hand? I'll keep it kind of brief because I'll wait down the road to kind of talk about the logistics of it. But basically, I got a pretty bad infection in it, and instead of going to the hospital and taking care of it, I just was like, oh, I can take care of it myself. And it just got worse and worse. Instead of, you know, doing the smart thing and being like, oh, I care about my arm and I care about all this, I just thought I could take care for it myself. But that's what happened in my hand. You know, what happened in my arm, the infection, and then as it healed up, it pulled everything together. So that's basically what happened with my hand. There's a deeper story, but I think I'm going to save that for down the road. There's a bunch of my history that I'm saving for the right time. Because right now I don't think it's the right time. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, it's a pretty, it's pretty deep. Yeah, I've kind of hinted around to it, you know, where my guitarist died and pretty much died in front of me, and you know, and then I quit music and all that stuff, and you know, just spiraled out of control into depression and just, you know, the one thing I will say, even though my life was pretty bad or upset or whatever, I always worked and I always kept morals. So that's, you know, I have a lot of friends, or I knew a lot of guys that fell into really bad space. And I have a lot of friends that died, and I have a lot of friends that ended up in jail. So I can say I don't have any record. I don't even have a misdemeanor charge on my record. So I stayed moral and I stayed good. But yeah, just a lot of bad things happen. So put it that way. You don't go around with pain and sorrow in your arms and not have a pretty bad outlook on life. Ah, actually though, it's kind of funny because, well, not funny, but after my guitarist died, I've said this before. I quit music, which if anyone's listened to the live stream before, my dad was a jazz bassist. I played piano at 5, cello at 7, first string, violin at 9, first string. So music was always my life. So, and the guy that died, if you go over to my music channel, I always put it in the links, up in the cards, or at the end, I'll put it. You go to my music channel, all that live stuff. The guy with the long hair, he's the one that died. So me and him were like brothers. We were both the only child, so brothers don't even explain what it was. And I was the last person with him, and that all that stuff. But I'll get into that at another time. That's kind of a depressing story, but yeah. So after that, he passed and all that. It's when I got these tattoos, pain and sorrow. But I got it because I was like, there's a couple bands that wanted me to sing for them or scream for them. I don't sing, I yell. So I figured, while I'm holding the mic, screaming. In fact, there's a couple of videos where I'm like at a party and just doing the singing. I've got my overalls on, no shirt, like the belt's hanging off, only got one strap on. I'm just like jumping around, screaming. But yeah, music hurt. So I didn't even listen to music for like 10 years. So it was a bad scene. I even started listening to like G. Gordon Liddy and Howard Stern. I always listened to, but I was always into talk radio because music was just too painful. And then 2011 I got back into music, but by that time I didn't forget everything, but I had to relearn it all. So. And that's why that music channel didn't really go too far, just because I have a passion for music. I mean, music is my blood, so I'm always going to do music, but, it's just not what's the word? It's just not my life path. It's not the path in life I want to take. So, that's why I put all the music. If you watch my knife making videos and all the music in that is mine. I don't use any music except my own. So I'm sitting down, usually like Mondays or Tuesday I'll write songs. Like 2 weeks ago when I only uploaded one video, it's because I got into writing like 3 new songs, which were in yesterday's video. I think, well, yeah, the end of yesterday's video and where the slow motion is were both 2 new songs. And the week before that, the intro was another new song. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting way off topic. And I'm not even reading any of this. Whew. Well, yeah, so that's I do have my first channel trailer. I kind of went into it and showed all that, and I showed the big old scar, because the pictures from here went into my heart. Now they said my heart was strong, but my aorta valve had an infection in it, and it took me 2 weeks to go to the hospital. I was so sick, and just like, oh, I don't care, and I finally went because I was like really bad. And they're like, yeah, well, you need to have open heart surgery because you're a dumbass that didn't come in. And now we need to take care of your arm and everything else, too. So, yeah, I mean, but that worst point in my life became the best point in my life. I didn't even know about knives before my heart surgery. I mean, I had like Kershaw's and stuff, but since that, when you walk in, and I'm not exaggerating this, when they told me I had to have open heart surgery, it didn't even faze me. I didn't even care. It's like, okay, so, I got to the point, it's like, well, the last 10 years of my life has been nothing I wanted to get out of life, so that's fine. This is how it ends. But since then, and that's probably why since then I've worked, 15-hour days and made live streams and made all this because I want legacy. And I talk about all this business stuff that I'm trying to learn, but the money's here. I want legacy to be here. It's like, when I do pass or when it's my time to go, I want people to be like, man, look at that story. He went from just, being in bands, having everything, losing everything, walking into death, and then coming out on top. And that's what's happened. So every day I'm reminded, today could be the day. Tomorrow could be the day. So I need to make today as productive and get 10 times as much done today or this week as I did last week. And, all these things I say now on camera and stuff like that, if I would have told myself this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I wouldn't listen because I knew it all. Oh, I was right about everything, I had all the answers. When you're young or when you're 20s and all that, man, life, you got the rest of your life, but you don't know what the rest of your life is. I'm getting on a tangent I should get off of, but oh man. So, yeah, that kind of goes into the arm and all that stuff, but let's get back on the topic. Whew. That's some heavy, I don't cuss usually, but that's some heavy shit right there. That's probably the one or only time you'll hear me cuss. I try to make this family friendly, but man, whew. That's why I'm kind of waiting to tell the whole, that's the overall of that story, but man, it goes a lot deeper. All right, so let's get on to something a little bit better. Back to the comparing yourself to others. And usually I tell you, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself only to your former self. Look at yourself today. Are you better than you were last week? Don't compare yourself to other knife makers, but you can feed off of each other with community and all that stuff. But there is one time, if you're into YouTube and all that, where you should compare yourself to other people. Or, how do I put this? I got caught in, when YouTube put this whole 1,000 sub things, I got really caught up in the views and the subs and all that. So getting caught up in the numbers is really crucially debilitating. And it can be, because you're not hitting the numbers you want to hit with views or with comments or with subs. But if you look at these guys, I keep bringing up Alex Steele because he's a knife maker or a blacksmith that kind of went into swords and all that. So everyone knows Alex Steele that's here for knife making. So he's got 1.6 million subscribers. Look at his comments. He barely hits 1,000 comments. He hits like, I think it's like 10,000 views. So if you compare that to, the 1.6 million subscribers, that's what, 1% comments and maybe 10% views. So once I realized that, even like Peter McKinnon, all these guys, Casey Neistat, their ratio of subs to comments to views is like 10% to 1%. And once I realized that, it took all this weight off my shoulders. Because I'm like, man, I don't have to get all these views. I don't have to get all these comments. I can just worry about making better content. So when you do have to compare yourself to whatever your niche is, or whatever it is you want to learn, like knife making and all this, look into the people that you're comparing yourself to. Like Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. They might have 10 million and 2 million or 3 million subscribers. But Casey Neistat was a professional filmmaker. He had an HBO special. He had all this stuff. And if you watch his old stuff, he's even like, oh, before I started daily vlogging, I only had 500,000 subs. I mean, to him, that was small. But you don't look at the 10 years, you know, before that he made films. Peter McKinnon, yeah, he made a million subs, or 2 million subs a year, 2 years. But for 10 years, he was in the market. He was in photography. He went out and he, you know, did videos of magicians and all that. So he had connections. He had the experience that when he brought it to his table, to his niche, everyone wanted to learn off of him. So that's the one thing that was hard for me to learn, because I used to obsessively do this, where I would see someone that has a channel like mine, and I would go in and I'd look at their homepage, and I'd go and see how long they were making videos for, and it's like, oh man, they've been making videos as long as me. Why do they have 2 or 3 times the subscribers? Oh, and I would rack my brain, or I'd look at a knife maker that was making knives as long as me, and be like, oh man, why does he make such better knives than me? And it'll drive you crazy. But you don't see, like Jeremy from Simple Little Life, you know, if you listen to his channel enough, he wasn't just a knife maker. His dad owns a machine shop. So, and I think he went to college for machining or something like that. So he has a background in machining. So to go from machining to knives, it might seem, it's a lateral move. So he might have only been making knives a year or two or whatever, but that all those years of machining have taught him how to work with metal. You see what I'm saying? So if you have to compare yourself to other people that are your competition, know their background. Know what they're doing before you're like, oh man, why is he so much better than me? And also look at yourself. Look at your strengths. See why you're better than that, or, you know, what you do better than them. I see a lot of knife makers that, man, they make these awesomely finished blades, and, you know, their knives look amazing. But the bevel's the same on every knife. You know, it's the same grind, the same bevel, whatever. And that's their style, and that's how they make them. And they're beautiful knives, because that was what they focused on. Now, they could look at my bevels and be like, man, every knife he does has a different bevel, has a different, you know, and I'm getting kind of lost, but, you know, a lot of guys use jigs or use this. I've never used a jig, which I need to learn. I need to build a jig and learn how to use a jig just so I can have that skill. Oh, I didn't watch his thing today. I didn't watch Simple Little Life's video today. You know, he treating, I don't know Jeremy's way he does it or whatever, but everyone has their little recipes and all that. Some people don't like to share it, but that's fine. I can guarantee it's close to whatever he whatever the data sheet says for that steel, it's right in those parameters. He might tweak something a little bit here or tweak something like there, but I'm surprised to hear that about him, because he shares all the stuff about, you know, doing cryo and all that stuff. Jeremy's, you know, he's really good. And I'll tell you one thing, I would love to steal his idea of the whole viewer knife maker things, but that's his thing. So, man, because showing like new knife makers and the whole viewer knife maker thing, man, that's brilliant. And it's so awesome, because he's helping, you know, giving back so much to this community by doing that. You know, displaying new knife makers and showing new knife makers. Now, my one critique of that, he says every knife is great and every knife is beautiful. And I can understand that, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And it's hard to look at people's knives and know, hey, can they take this criticism? Can they not take this criticism? And I also understand just the fact that this person is getting out there and doing this is awesome in itself. So, yeah, I get where he's coming from 100%, but he kind of just is like, every knife looks great and every knife looks beautiful. But I don't know, that's his thing. It's one thing I would critique if I had to say. He I can understand being like, oh, well, man, you did really nice on this bevel here, but he probably don't want to get into that because, like I say, it's a hard thing to do because you don't know what people are going to react when you say, you know, he can say, oh man, well, you did this nice, but you messed up here, and that could completely discourage someone and and make them give up knife making. So I can definitely see that, but there's this trap you fall into, and I see it with YouTube comments where people like heart every comment, but they don't leave a comment to that person. They just heart it. They just go through and heart every question. I mean, heart every comment or like every comment or whatever. And the problem is that it starts to be disingenuous. You know, it doesn't come off sincere. When it's like you're just doing it to make people happy instead of doing it to communicate, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I know Bootleg Blake, but that's kind of his thing, the whole knife makers thing. Plus, honestly, actually, I couldn't. Wow, did I just bust out your eardrums? Actually, I couldn't do it for that reason I just explained. Is I would hate to discourage someone from making knives because I told them, oh, well, this looks bad, or you need to fix this, or, you know, and so, Jeremy, I, it's, he's, he's the man. He put my stuff up there. It's funny because, I sent him the video. He even put like links to my video. This is like over a year ago. And he's like, man, cause in my lyrics, I cuss a lot. If you listen to my lyrics and my songs, I cuss a lot. And those old videos were a lot of cussing, and I didn't take like now I take all the vocals out of the songs, and I put them up. But if you go back to like last year, before last April or something like that, I would just play the songs, and I'd play like Blind Angel is the band I was in with the guy with the long hair that died. I play all the live stuff and all that. So Jeremy's like, you can go watch his videos, but if you're a kid, be careful because there's a lot of cussing and swearing and a lot of loud music. So, but yeah, so Jeremy, man, I give him all the best for that. That's an awesome idea, and he's really helped out. So, but yeah, just it's that fine line of balance because you don't want to hurt people's feelings and you don't want to discourage people. But like I said before, when you tell people, I've seen knife makers that have been making knives. They're like, oh man, I've been making knives for 10 years. And you go look at the page, and they look like they've been making knives a year or two. Because no one's told them, man, you need to fix this. Or, man, you're doing this wrong. Or something in that vernacular. Is that the word? When people look at your knife and they're like, oh man, that's an awesome knife. A lot of these times, these guys don't know what a good or bad knife looks like. So if someone's always telling you, and that goes for any passion, any niche, if someone's telling you you're always doing good, you're not going to know when to fix what's bad, if that makes sense. And that's why I credit the guy that got me into knife making. Man, he would tear me apart. And, I'd get so upset and be like, and I'd almost give up or whatever, but then it would push me to fix it and make it better. And when you don't have someone telling you, hey man, this looks great, but this needs to be worked on, you fall into that pattern of everyone saying, man, this knife looks great, when it might not. So, I don't know, that's a whole, that's a hard line to follow though. Because that's the other thing. A lot of people say, oh man, I got thick skin. You can tell me, I can take it. And usually when they say that to me, like they'll message me on Facebook or something, and or email me or whatever, I'll test the waters. And a lot of you guys can take it, and you want the criticism and stuff like that. You know, Bootleg Blades, when he was asking me about doing his videos, the first couple I told him, man, this needs to be fixed. And he's like, thanks, man. He's like, you know, I only got one feeling, and it's locked in the vault. So, you know, and his videos have become awesome. So, but some people, you'll tell them something that looks just a little off, and you know it's not what's really off, and they'll be like, oh, and they start making excuses. Oh, well, I did this because of that, or, oh, I know, but I didn't want to do this or do that. And then you know right there to cut it. Because they're not going to listen to you. They just want you to tell them, man, that knife looks awesome. You know, they don't want to be criticized. They don't want to be told, man, this knife looks horrible. You know, they don't want to be like, oh, well, you did good here, but you need to fix this. You tell them one little thing. Oh, look at that scratch right there. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to fix that. Yeah, I just haven't got... Cut, you know. Yeah, I'm not giving you any advice because you're not going to take it well. So, you know, and it's hard. It's hard to let people tell you how bad you are. Believe me. But it's the only way to improve exponentially. I'm using all these words. I hope they're right. I don't have my Google phone with me. Or my phone to Google it with me. Oh, man. All right. We went on a little roller coaster today. Little deep thoughts and some laughing and giggling and all that stuff. So I think that's about it. I try to keep these to like 40-45 minutes because I know it's hard to sit there and watch. And that's why I want to make the podcast, or that's why I want to release these as podcasts. So if you enjoy watching the videos, you don't have to sit here and look at my broken, busted up body and my busted up face. You can just turn on your phone and listen. But anyway, so yeah, go if you're on a computer or whatever. I don't know how the poll things work, but there's a card up here, and it'll be on the repost. Just put a poll. Do you think I should release these as a podcast or no? Be honest too. If you think that's a bad idea and I would never listen, that's good feedback. Because I want to know if enough people will listen that it would be a good idea. So, I barely got any handstanding done anymore. I got a little bit done. About 3 months we'll have this blade hand sanded. Alright. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Man, everyone was in the comments today. It's awesome. Man, I gotta watch my voice. I'm like blowing out everything. If I'm gonna yell, I should back up and yell. I should know that from being a screamer. I would say singer, but if you go and listen to my music, I didn't sing much. There's like 1 or 2 songs that I sang, but... Alright, before I get on another rant, I really appreciate all the support. Man, seeing all you guys this here, I'm sorry I can't... I need to figure out a way to make the chat bigger. Maybe I'll put this screen in front of me so I can, you know, so I don't have to keep going like that. Because getting old and going blind is horrible. So thanks for all the support. You know, my Amazon links. Oh, by the way, Amazon links. If you're in Germany or Italy or France or Canada or the UK, the links that you see, if you click on them, it'll take them to Amazon in your country. And I didn't know how that worked before, but so yeah, if you need anything that you see from my knife making stuff or any of my camera equipment, click on the link. And yeah, I appreciate the support. You know, we get a commission. It doesn't cost any more. If you click on these links and you buy something from Amazon, it doesn't cost you any more, but the channel gets some support. So I really appreciate it. I got knives on the website, and I've got shirts on the website. So any of that stuff, man, really helps out. You know, I said, you know, money's not as big of an issue, but it might be one day. So I need to learn how to market all this stuff in case I fall on hard times and do need it. So I appreciate it all. Man, another good live stream. I think I'm getting the hang of this stuff. Sorry if I missed a lot of your comments. it's hard for me. I need to get like a big screen TV so I can read it. Which is horrible because I used to have 2015 vision, like pilot's vision, better than perfect. But, alright. That's about it. Thanks again for everything. Let's have a good week. Hopefully see you next Sunday. I got a couple videos I'm going to put up. Or I got to start working on. If I don't get caught up in my music again. And, yeah. So that's about it. Hope the rest of your weekend is good. And as always, take it easy.